What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to do something that I pretty much can't stand, and that is the spider robot. But ever since we've been getting all this power creep, we've been getting all these stronger characters, spider robots actually become quite easy. I've actually been playing it every single day, getting my clears, because you can get gold hammers, you can get imprint stones, you can actually salvage those imprint stones to get some materials and hope to get some Moonstar or Star-shaped stones. So I'm going to provide you guys some tips and tricks on how to do the best you can in the spider robot. So let's take a look at the spider robot. So this bastard can be pretty rough to play against, but like I said earlier, because of power creep, because of the fact that we're just getting stronger and stronger characters in this game, this really is getting easier and easier, especially because we can add imprint stones, we can gain a lot more CP, we can gain a lot more attack power, and it's just become easier over time. Now my face is actually in the way here, but I actually have Ginnets on the team, Ignitz, BS Ignitz, BS Zero, BS Geese, and BS Rugal. Just a BS team. Now you don't have to use these characters. You can use any characters you want. The tips that I'm going to give you are going to work for, most characters. Definitely your strongest characters that you have available are the ones you're going to be using. It doesn't matter what type or color they are. This boss has no color advantage or disadvantage, so that's something you don't have to worry about. The first tip that I can give you is whenever you're setting up your strikers, make sure that each of your strikers has card sets on them. Make sure that they have card sets on, because the more CP that your striker has, the more CP that they're going to be adding to your actual damage dealer, therefore allowing you to do a lot more damage. It's the first tip I can give you. Have card sets on all 10 of these characters. Obviously, you're going to have them on the 5 damage dealers, but make sure you have them on your 5 strikers as well. If you have card sets on your 5 strikers, the better. The more, the better, right? And you want to be adding cards that's going to add a lot of CP as well. The next tip that I can give you is that you want to have cold and shock damage, or chill and shock damage, in the teams somehow throughout, whether it's through an option card or whether it's through a striker. Now, you can see what I've done here. The only striker that I have available here that actually offers chill is Kula for Chrysalid. That's pretty much it. The rest of the characters don't. But what I have done is put option cards on certain characters so that way I can do some chill damage. Now, we have Ignitz there and BS Geese to do shock damage. And 2 really amazing characters for this thing is really going to be BS Ignitz and SS Kula, because they both have a 10-second dot that works really well against this robot. You got SS Ignitz that has the 10-second shock dot, and then you have SS Kula who has the 10-second chill dot. I mean, that's going to be very, very powerful against this boss. It's going to allow you to do a lot more damage to him. And top card sets that you can use in the spider robot are going to be the Serena sets. So I'll go and click on battle card here, and these sets right here, probably pass them up, man, I do this all the time. These sets right here are going to be the top dog, because the method to which you're trying to do, the method that you're going to be doing here is you're going to be dropping in your character, you're going to do some damage, and you want to do your 3PG as fast as possible. Definitely using characters with 3PGs is going to be a massive benefit here, because it's going to be a lot easier to be able to do your super, right? And the more often you do your super, the more you're actually going to be delaying the timer or stalling the timer in the spider robot. This game mode really requires you to use your character, switch to another character, use your character, switch to another character, always bringing your strikers over and over and over. It's a lot of I mean, you got to be really, really fast with the fingers. But the Serena set on any character, whether it's going to be your defensive characters, attack characters, balanced characters, this really is going to be the kingdom come, because you're going to be able to build your PGs super fast. You're going to be tagging in your characters over and over and over. And this set does, increase your attack by 30% and increase the attack by an additional 15% for 10 seconds and gains 10% power when tagging in. So you got the power gain, you got all the extra attack. It's just an amazing set for the spider robot. And honestly, it's really amazing for Guild Raid too, because you keep tagging in over and over and over. Then, I'd say, probably the Akane, the Leah sets are going to be amazing. The City of Darkness set here, this is going to be a really good set. But the Serena set's just got that advantage of gaining that power, which is really, really nice. You can also gain power by using these PG cards that are always available in the game, but a lot of you don't have these cards. Maybe you don't have the City of Darkness. The Serena set's always available in the game. That's why that's the first one that I threw out there. But, you know, these cards are actually really, really amazing. I mean, they work really, really well with a lot of characters. But just remember, whenever you start off with a Spider Robot, you're not going to do your supers immediately. You're going to go through 4 characters, and then on your 5th character, you're going to want to do your super. And then after that, you're already going to have some PG built up from already doing those previous attacks from your other characters. And it'll be a lot easier to build up to your 3 PG the next go around. And also, you know, if you have like cards like this here, you know, cards that give you super armor when you drop in, that can help a lot too, because sometimes when the Spider Robot's attacking, if you're dropping in and you don't have super armor, he can hit you and kind of throw you out of your rhythm. And really, whenever you're doing this, you want to be in a rhythm as you're attacking so you can do that continuous damage. These are really good cards because of the, you know, super armor when you're tagging in. You know, you got these, you got the option card for, you know, Maisie, for the female characters, and a whole bunch of others. I mean, I could make an entire video about card sets that you could actually use for this thing. But 2 big dog cards for this is going to be the Zhongfei option card. This thing's going to be amazing because it does have a 50% chance to chill damage equal to 140% attack to the target upon landing a critical hit. So this is going to be a really good card for characters that have lots of critical rate or critical rate buffs. It's going to be amazing, especially characters that do lots and lots of hits. I mean, you can see that mine's actually equipped to Ginitz. Ginitz has a crit rate buff. I mean, Orochiori. Those are 2 amazing characters that are always available in the game that are awesome for Spider Robot. I actually did a clear against Spider Robot, getting over 400 million, and that was before we had all the 5 imprint stones and all that. Long time ago by doing this. And another card that is really, really amazing for this thing is the Shermie option card. And just like the Zhongfei option card, this card actually does increase your attack speed, but it also does shock damage equal to 8% of attack to the enemy upon landing a critical hit. So once again, it's going to be very, very important to do critical hits. It's going to work really, really, really well on characters that have lots of critical rate. Characters like Orochiori, Ginitz. I mean, SS Keel, these actually work really, really well because he does lots and lots of hits. He's got a little extra crit rate in his core, and there's going to be other characters as well that's going to work. But the Shermie option card and the Zhongfei card are good ways for a character that doesn't have shock or doesn't have chill for them to be able to apply some chill or shock damage. Now, the next tip that I can give you is in the Dungeon of Trials or against the Spider Robot, whatever you want to call it, I just call it Spider Robot. He's going to be applying, you're going to need to apply dot 5 times throughout this fight. You're going to have to apply chill 3 times and shock twice. And it always happens at the exact same times throughout the fight. So this is something else to keep in mind. Now, whenever I play, I'm just kind of alternating. I'm just running through the motions as far as these characters are concerned. But if at the very beginning of the fight, you're going to need to apply chill damage. And then at 1:56, you're going to need to apply shock. And then you're at 1 minute and 26, you're going to need to apply chill. And then you're going to need to apply shock at 56 seconds. And then you're going to need to apply chill again at 26 seconds. So when you have those time slots memorized or in your back of your mind, whenever, like, say, for example, at the very beginning of the fight, you want to make sure you apply chill. So I'm going to be starting off the fight with Ginitz here. And if you take a look at the card set, I mean, these screens take a little while to kind of load up whenever you're in this. But if you take a look at Ginitz, you know, again, because he has this critical rate buff here. I mean, increased critical rate by 12%, plus he does all these hits. Ginitz really is insane for this thing. He's so good. And it's so awesome because he's just a free-to-play character. You can actually get a 3 PG from the Epic Quest. He's just so good for this. But I am running the Serena set to build up that PG, plus he has 30% PG rate in his core. That's another thing. You know, characters have that nice big 30% PG rate in their core. They're going to be really good because it's going to be a lot easier for them to build up their 3 PGs. But you can see that I have the Kazumi card here. This card adds an insane amount of CP. And if you got a bunch of these lying around, you could actually use these cards on your strikers as well to help build up a little bit more CP to allow you to do more damage. The same thing with the Zhongfei card. Again, the more CP that you add to your strikers from your card sets or from imprint stones, the more CP it's going to add to your actual damage dealer. And Ginitz, I do have the Zhongfei card on him because that way we can apply chill because he's got those critical rate buffs. He does all those hits. He's just amazing for this, you know. And we do have 3 imprint stones. These aren't even the best imprint stones. Actually, I have a double attack stone that I could have put here, but the run you're going to see is with this here, so it is what it is. It'll be fine. You'll get the drift of what we're doing. Ignis here is really awesome because of the 10-second shock on his first skill, but I am going to be running this set. Now, if I had the Serena set, I'd probably just run with that set, But this set here really is awesome because it does increase shock and darkness damage by 75%. Amazing for someone like BS Ignatz, and then the active skill damage by 23%. But you know, you could easily run an Akane set on him, the City of Darkness, and again, the Serena set's going to be top dog. The Leah set, all those sets are going to work really well for him. And then I do have a Transcended Maxima card here that does increase balance type fighter critical damage by 7.5%. And then we got a Zhang Fei card. Ignatz does a lot of hits, so he does a lot of critical hits. And the Zhang Fei card actually works really well for him. And the cool thing about a character like this, you know, characters that already have shock or already have chill, you know, if you put a certain option card on them, you can actually have both dots all at the same time. So in Ignatz's case, I actually will have chill and shock all at the same time. So it works out really well. It really makes it a little bit more brain dead when you have setups like that. For Chrysalid here, Chrysalid definitely works the best with a Serena set. And then I have, you know, the option card from the BS characters to apply a little extra blast damage, especially for his third skill. And then we are going to use his 3PG. And for Chrysalid, I do have, you know, Kula as a striker to apply some chill. We're not going to get any shock, but the thing is, we got Ignatz before him, and Ignatz is going to have that 10-second shock. And then Geese here, I just have an Akane set on him. I got the 1 PG card. And then I had this extra card here. Just add some CP, add some critical damage, increase to darkness damage and critical rate. Really good card set for Geese here. And something to note about Geese is whenever you're playing with this guy, if you are using him, you don't really want to use his 3 PG. You want to use his default, because that default increases target damage received by 20% for 10 seconds upon landing a skill. You're going to do a lot more damage by using his default instead of his 3PG. Yes, 3PG is going to stall the timer big time, but it doesn't do near as much damage as his default. So whenever you're playing with this character, that's something else to keep in mind. Also, he has shock damage on his first skill, right? So, you know, he drops lightning on the target for successful attack, and he deals shock damage, deal 30% of attack for 7 seconds. So what I do a lot of times is I'll use Geese and I'll apply his second skill and his third skill, apply a little darkness and get his hyper armor up. And then right after I do his default, I'll go ahead and do his first skill to apply a little shock and then switch to the next character. And we got a little shock already applied. And then we got my boy Rugal. Rugal is just going to be a damage dealer. That's all he's really here for. We got the Serena set. We got the option card for, we got a BS option card here. And by the way, you don't need these BS option cards. I mean, it does help because you do get a lot of extra damage from those things, but you really don't need them. The most important thing is to apply chill and shock when you need to. You know, make sure that you're applying chill at the very beginning of the fight. Make sure you're applying shock at 1 minute and 56 seconds. Make sure that you're applying chill at 1 minute and 26 seconds. Make sure that you're applying shock again at 56 seconds. And make sure that you're applying chill at 26 seconds. If you do that, you're going to do a lot better. And you got to be very, very fast when it comes to switching your characters around. You know, I mean, Rugal here, I mean, he's got 5 imprint stones. He's the only character out of all 5 of these that actually has, oh, I'm sorry. And Chrysalid here have 5 imprint stones. They're the only 2 that got the 5 imprint stones. The other characters don't. But even if I didn't have those imprint stones, I'd still be able to get a high enough score to do well in this. So I've already pre-recorded a run because it's a lot easier to watch and talk instead of play and talk. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring that thing up here for you guys. All right. So we're going to start out this thing with Ignatz right here, all right? And, you know, just kind of picture in your mind, you know, using these characters that have shock and chill or using those option cards that you actually need. So yeah, start out with Ignatz here. You know, start with this hyper armor skill. All right, and then we use Ignatz there. And all you want to do is you're just going through all of your skills on the first go around for all of your characters. Now we're just building up that 3PG. And now is where the magic starts happening. We'll do our 3PG for Rugal. And if your cooldowns are finished, go ahead and run through a couple skills, build up a little bit of PG, and then switch to your next character. Notice that I brought in Orochi there as my striker right when I did Ignatz, so that way I could do a little extra attack. And there, right there, you know, I got original Ignatz there, or 2001 Ignatz, for a striker for BS Ignatz, so that way we get a little extra attack, get a little extra PG gain. You see, look how I'm playing Geese here. I did a 2-3, did the default, apply a little shock, switch to my next character. So right whenever Krizzlet was doing his attack, shock was being applied. Then we brought in Kula, we got some chill applied. You're trying to set up teams where you're always going to be applying chill and shock throughout the entire fight. That way, it makes it a little bit more brain dead for you. You don't really have to worry about necessarily watching that timer, because whenever I play this, I don't look at the timer at all, right? Even though I know when we need to apply chill and shock, I don't really look at the timer. I just make sure that I'm applying chill and shock throughout all of the fight between all of my characters. That way I don't have to worry about it. And that's really how you want to set up your teams. Let's go. I mean, this is one game mode. You don't really have to worry too much about cooldown. It's really about having just a lot of CP, building up your PG, doing your 3 PGs, and applying shock and chill. I mean, I still really hate this game mode. I don't like it because it really is hard. It's extremely difficult. But the beautiful thing about it is, I guess the good thing, not the beautiful thing, but the good thing is, you only have to do it once a day, and then you can just hit the auto clear and get your last 2 clears, you know, without doing anything at all. But it does take time to do this run. I mean, it does, because you're using 5 characters and you're stalling the timer the whole time. Excuse me there. Let's go, let's go. One thing about Geese that I never liked is, like, you just can't cancel between his second and third skill that fast. Like, once you do the third skill, you can't cancel immediately. And it makes him a little bit slow, but he's still amazing for this because he can apply that shock. And that default does do an insane amount of damage. And if you notice, like, throughout all of this, right, because my cooldowns are so low on all my other characters, but Rugal, you know, I'm just doing their 3 skills. Like, you know, Guinness here, I just do 3. I'll just do, well, Ignis, I just do skills. And notice I didn't do his PG, right? I didn't do Ignis' 3 PG just there, but I did apply the shock. And that's kind of how I play it. Sometimes if I don't apply the PG, if I don't build it up fast enough, I'll just go ahead and switch to the next character. And that does kind of throw your rhythm off a little bit. But, you know, you just kind of play it by ear sometimes whenever you're playing in this game mode. And you'll get back in the groove the next go around. Let's go, let's go. And there, right there, Guinness, I didn't build up my PG fast enough. And I do have a Serena set. Now, I could have put a option card on some of these characters. Like, I could have put an option card on Ignis, and a PG option card. And I could have put a one on Guinness to help build up that PG a little bit faster. Let's go, let's go. We bring in Kula, we apply some chill. Oh yeah, piece of cake, man. And like I said, you know, due to power creep, due to the, you know, characters just getting stronger and stronger, this just gets easier and easier. You know, it really does. You know, with BS and SS characters, it gets easier. I mean, you can do this free to play. You can do this without any BS or SS characters, but they're going to have to be really, really developed, really strong. I mean, look at my characters. You know, these are BS characters, except for Guinness, and they are leveled up. You know, they do have, you know, 3 imprint stones on them, or 5 imprint stones, and they got, you know, option cards, and even some transcended cards on some of them. You know, my strikers are really developed. You know, they're very strong. You know, that some of them got imprint stones on them. You know, it's a CP game. You know, it's all about adding as much CP as possible, timing your attacks, being super fast with your skills. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Get him, Rugal, get him. Ooh. I mean, it takes a while to do this fight. This is what I don't like about it. It's a very time-consuming thing, and you're just like beep 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 over and over and over. It's like, oh my god, man. Oh yeah. Ignis really is insane for this thing. My god, he's so awesome. There, I missed my darkness there. Even with the Serena set on Krizzlet, a lot of times I don't build up my PG fast enough. Actually, in hindsight, if I would have used my BS Orochi, who also has 5 imprint stones, instead of Krizzlet, it'd been better, because BS Orochi builds up his PG super fast, and he does do a lot of damage. He really does. He's so underrated. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll switch him and Krizzlet around. But, I mean, Krizzlet just does... I mean, he has double dot with Starlight and Darkness. He just does a lot of damage, man. That's kind of like why I'm wanting to use him. Oh, yeah. Love that skill. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Get him. Chris, like, all these characters are awesome. And if you guys would like me to see do a run with, you know, like SS characters, I can do that too. But my SS characters are not as developed as my BS characters, you know. Most of them are like 3-star, but I could definitely give that a try if y'all would like to see that. Or maybe, you know, maybe I could try a free-to-play setup, I guess, too, as well. Oh, come on, come on, come on. We're down to the wire. We're down to the wire. I've scored, you know, about 590 million. That's my best score so far in here. The run you're watching right now isn't going to hit that marker. But, I mean, it's more than good enough, right? It's more than good enough. All right. And we're about there. You know, we've already hit 520 million. There, I just went ahead and hit my 3PG for the fun of it. Just because it looks cool. Oh, yeah. And it's pretty much about over. We end on Rugal. The old Kaiser wave. And there you have it, you know, 544 million. You know, a decent score, you know, I mean, and I did this last night, so it's like everybody's already played this and all, ranked 150, whatever. But the ranking really doesn't matter. I mean, really all that matters is trying to get the best score possible, right? Like, all you really want to do is hit that 376 million so you can get all those rubies available in here. So let me know if this helps any of you out there as far as Spider Robot is concerned, and let me know how you're all doing in there and the characters that you're using. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.